So one of the things I want to talk about is that I did have rules set up for the exam. Exam 3 is not this Thursday, but but the 23rd. And yes, one question I will guarantee will be on exam 3. Yes, I got distracted by a laser. That question is the Social Security question. And Tori is exactly correct in that regard. I can guarantee you that there will be a question that says, given this file, please remove the Social Security numbers from this file using the sub. Yes, the exam 2 grades are posted. So, although if you have a 0, that's just because they haven't been graded yet. And that's about a group of 30 students. So, all right, back to exam 2. I had set out the rules of it's okay to use the internet, but basically do not ask for help from anybody, do not talk to anybody, do not, communicate with other people. So, of course, I'm very annoyed, but also very unsurprised that somebody did so. I am just kind of mildly insulted that they don't think that the TAs can use, search engines and the like. So, for instance, let's see. So here, right, this was probably, I'm not sure when this was posted, but probably during the exam, which is mildly annoying. There were actually 2 posts for this, I think, because one of them did have the a bit of a section of the answer that was received for this question. Yep, so, there was this question over here. And what this did is that it created a full deck of cards, right? So it wasn't just red and black cards. Whoever solved this and gave the answer back gave back a full deck of cards, a full 52 cards. So until I can figure that one out, I'm marking those questions for 0 for the people who submitted that, because I'm trying to figure out who, posted the answer online. So that was mildly frustrating. So yeah, that if it was possible, I'd sign up for this website and start submitting false answer for my questions, because I know my stuff is online. And I might start poisoning the well there, but that would be very mean and obnoxious. But also, just when the code has if name equals main in it, and that is something that is legal in Python, but I don't do much in class, and you don't do much in class. It's kind of a, I noticed a lot of similar answers that people got from Stack Overflow from other questions. That was fine. I said you could do that. You could look on the internet, right? That's fine, right? I noticed that I tested some of the code that worked with like some of the questions were over, like some of the answers for the questions, like for question 2, where basically you were trying to figure out which one had the most vowels. That was over. There were a number of people who used dictionaries for it, and basically created where the key was the number of vowels and the value was a list of all the words that had that number of vowels. That was an over-engineered solution. But hey, whatever. That's fine. I told you could use it. A lot of times I do it. But it's very important that you understand what you're using. There's very innocuous things that you can find online that basically don't look hazardous, but can do a lot of that can be very annoying. So, for instance, this little 3-liner in Python will basically create a fork bomb on your computer, which will basically make it so that the computer gets stuck and unable to refresh. Basically, it's unable. Basically, the program keeps cloning itself, and the programs clone themselves, and so on and so forth until it eats up all the processing power. It's very frustrating, and basically the only way to deal with it is to pull the plug on your computer. Let's see. There was another one. Example of a fork bomb. My personal favorite. There's a cup. Yeah, this one has a bunch of stuff. So, this guy has basically examples of all that. Bat. Yeah, this one. This is an executable program for DOS. So you just download it, double click on it, and this just does the exact same thing. It's kind of innocuous. But, this is why I hazard you about just downloading and running stuff that you don't know how it's going to work. My personal favorite example is actually from an exam I gave out from a class I taught back when I was a PhD student. And by the way, I should mention that I'm not penalizing everybody. It's just the people who have done that, and only until I figure out what the heck had gone on. So, So let's see. And I appreciate honesty more than anything. I don't appreciate getting my time wasted by people beating around the bush for there. So anyway, let's pull up my midterm from this system level programming class that I taught. I don't think I taught it maybe I did in 2015. In fact, there were a number of regular expressions I taught in that class too, because Unix uses quite a bit of that. And this is one of my favorite questions from that exam, and is a great example of why not. So this was posted. This is something that got put back in the day, got posted on 4chan quite a bit. Is your Mac feeling slow? This could be due to high levels of uptime accumulated when you don't restart for a while. Yeah, that's fine. You can use if name is equal main. It's just when I see people who haven't used it before and they're suddenly using it in an over-engineered solution, that was kind of it was a red flag to dig. That was all. So, and again, it was an over-engineered solution where basically the cards were, instead of generating a bunch of whatever it was, like 5 red 2 black, they created all 52 cards and took 7 of all 52 cards. So, over-engineered. So, and then seeing 2 people, I'm like, okay, there's got to be something there. So here we go. This could be due to high levels of uptime accumulated when you don't restart for a while. Don't run this command, by the way. I should have started with that. Don't do this. To resolve this issue, simply refresh your Mac by opening the terminal. Type sudo rm-rf, and I really appreciate the use of the Mac style of the I think it was Monaco font, which was what was used at that time. Sudo rm-rf /* into the terminal without quotes, and then hit return. So they say sudo tells your command to do. RM means to get the machine ready, and rf means to refresh. And they don't say what the /* means. Interesting. Anybody know what that command does, by the way? Any takers on what this does? It deletes everything. Yes, it will delete everything on the computer, and pretty much it will be irrecoverable.
Is it what I think it is?
Yeah, it's delete. It's sudo. Yes, it's the Windows version is delete system 32. Only this is a bit harsher than delete system 32, because at least with delete system 32, I can stick in a USB drive and look through the contents of the file. Right? It's just not going to boot, but I can at least look through the hard drive. This is going to just start trashing everything. So it's you should very much be aware of what you put on the computer. All right. Anyway, that's my diatribe for that. Sorry for subjecting you all to that, but hey. So for the final exam, I'll probably have another scam game on there because it was a really fun program, I think. I don't know. Did you guys think that was fun? I mean, it's definitely fun to figure out, to have a game of some kind. So let's go ahead and I'm going to open up the automate the boring stuff code. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, here's another over-engineered solution. Nothing wrong with this. Just using the date time library. Which, okay. Perfectly fine to use the date time library. There. Just over-engineered, and you could have just easily done it with slicing the screen. Will we have a turtle program on the final? Do you guys want a turtle program on the final? No, yes, no, no, yes. Please, no. Maybe. Someone said the clever thing. Easy one. It is cumulative. I'll probably have something simpler with regards to the turtle. Something that's probably more along the lines of multiple choice. It will be a bit easier considering you'll be able to use your computer. Remember? You're able to use your computer, so it's a lot easier. There. Alright, so when we last left off on this, we had, I had this over here. So let's go ahead and see. This is in, hi Annie. Okay, so, so Andrew, classroom, sorry, I easily get distracted by what people post in chat. Okay, so, I will give a better outline of what's going to be on the exam. So, expect a lot more stuff that can be auto-graded. Because even though that takes a lot longer for me to do, in advance, it's a lot easier for me to grade. So here we go. So, right, we took this file. I just suddenly realized I could have done this. So, here we go. We've got ourselves the Social Security Cleaner program, and that's what we built last, right? Which was open this file, compile it, clean it up, and for line in data, basically we use the sub function, which will replace stuff. The sub function's actually really awesome, and I'm going to just show you one more thing with that sub function, which is that you can delete parts of matches, which is really cool. So yeah, we are almost done with this. So substituting, so here, this is one of my, one of the favorite ones they got there, which is, names regex, compile agent, space, word plus. So here, right, let's go ahead, I'm going to grab this and I'll save it. Agent.py, right? Import re, right? So we've got names regex, compile this name, and we'll print censored. Agent Alice gave the secret documents to Agent Bob. Just going to pull this out, put it in text, because that's generally easier. And then we'll say, hey, replace all instances of the regular expression with text. Oh, sorry, all instances of the regular expression in text with censored. Censored gave the secret documents to censored, right? So that's pretty cool. Everything won't be auto-graded, and partial credit's always up for grabs, but I do try to make it so that there are solutions I can give for partial credit. So, anyway. So this is pretty cool. But what I can also do is I can use groups. So sometimes you need the match text itself as part of the substitution. So what we can do is really cool, which is that we can say the first argument in sub, you can type /1/2/3 to mean enter the text of group 1, group 2, or group 3. So here is what we could do. Is that we can do this. Let's see. So they had agent. So here we have agent W. All right. And then here what we'll do is we'll do /1 and a bunch of stars. Now this is like really cool. So what does /W plus mean again? This means any letter. So the /W means any letter character. This means at least one of them. So this basically matches one to as many as it can find. So agent. So what we had originally was agent space Alice and agent space Bob. So this matches both agent space Alice, agent space Bob. It basically meant. So if we say Alice Adams, because Adams is a short name, it's going to not censor it properly. It's going to say, it's going to, give me 1 second. I have to put it back. I'm going to censor it out. How do I even do it if I want at least two? What is them? What is them? Oh, if you want 2 characters. In what case? If they're not next to each other, then you have to specify how you want them split up. Anyway, let me continue with this. And then if you have further questions that I can't answer, that I'm unable to answer, just speak to me during office hours. Notice that basically it's matching agent and then /W plus. It gets all the way to here and then it stops because this isn't a space. So it doesn't censor atoms. Now, one of the cool things that I wanted to show you is the use of groups. So agent. So here, I'm putting a group around one letter over here. Agent. So we're going to match agent, followed by a space, followed by a single letter, followed by one or more other letters. Okay? And we're going to capture that single letter by itself. So what this does, in effect, is really cool. So Star gave the documents to Star. Give me a sec. That wasn't what I expected. So, all right. Let's see. So let's see what they had over here. Agent blank gave the documents to... Blank gave the documents to blank. So why is it not giving me the group? So, oh, right. Right. I have to put real raw string over there because otherwise it wasn't escaped. So when doing regular expressions, remember to put R in front of these because otherwise, so you can properly escape everything. Otherwise, you have to do annoying things like this. You have to escape the escape character so that it properly gets sent to the regular expression. Okay, so here what we're seeing is agent space W gets us basically, so this says agent, then follows the space, then it grabs the first letter as group 1, and then it matches the rest of it. So we get agent Alice. So rather than saying this, we just simply say A gave the document to B. Right? Notice it replaces agent Alice with A. And why A? Because we grabbed this part of it. If I grabbed this group, agent, it's going to give us gent gave it to gent. Why? Because /1 is the first group, so it's gent. If I did this, /1 space /2, it would be gent A gave it to gent B. Is this making sense, or are people screaming because they're lost? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there are... So if you were to write /2, it does the second group. Yep. Yep, it substitutes in. So group /1 gives us the gent, /2 gives us the letter. Basically, we're saying substitute, and this is if you want part of what you're replacing to be in the replacement. So let's see. So now, like for over here, if we wanted to just simply replace every single word with the first letter of every word. So Agent Alice gave the secret documents to Agent Bob. This will replace it with AAGTSD. Right? And it will do that because it's saying remove this word, right? This, which is, so a single letter followed by a bunch of other letters. So capture that single letter by itself and replace it. Find another one, replace it. Find another one, replace it. It's a really, really strong kind of deal. It's a really kind of strong thing. So, all right. So, I want to talk about. So let's talk about web bots and web browsing. So let's go ahead and go to my Temple website. So cis.temple.edu. Right. Let's see. So yeah. So faculty. So let's go to my. So here you see you have all the professors and all their email addresses and all their numbers. So if you want to, so let's see. So if you want to grab, so say for me, right, here it is. But if we were to look at the page, we can look at like the page. So this isn't really, so I'm going to get into this in a bit more detail. When you send a request for a website, here I've got cis.temple.edu/people/faculty/non-tenure. What you see is not what your computer is receiving specifically. What your computer is receiving is HTML. This gibberish over here. All this stuff over here. Blah, 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 blah. It's code. A bunch of code, but you can recognize some of the text. Let's look for me because I'm harmless. Andrew Rosen, right? And here you can see, here we've got Andrew Rosen. And now we've got my email and my phone number over here. Well, that's my office phone. And then my room. In fact, we have the email and this for everybody. So we're going to leave aside how, I'm going to leave for a minute alone how to grab this stuff from the web, from a random web page. Although if you're really curious, it's very simple. I'm going to very briefly flash it on your screen. Go to chapter 12 on here, go to web scraping, and simply figure out the URL, and then use the following argument. You can use the following libraries, or Control F, xkcd, right? Use requests to grab the URL, and then just simply grab and simply download it, and it'll download it as basically a string. It will read it just like you're reading a file. So we're going to leave this for another day. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this. going to actually copy it. And I'm going to just simply paste it over here and pretend that we got it. We got from the link. So templedir.html, because it's an HTML thing. But just because it's HTML doesn't really mean anything. It's just text. So I can read it like it's a file. So what we're going to do is that we are going to go through this entire thing, and we're going to grab all the email addresses from this document and all the phone numbers from this document, which is how, like, you know, spammers can grab a bunch of emails and stuff and to send you spam, and also how they can send a bunch of stuff. You know, it's the same thing with phone numbers. You know, it's an automated system. So let's go ahead and write ourselves a email scraper .py, right? Which is also useful, and I mean, this is also useful if you have a document with emails in it and you want to get the emails out of it. So we're going to need we're going to need just one library, which is RE, and we're just going to need the open command, right? With some people were doing like with and stuff. That's more advanced and technically more correct, but I like to go for simple. Text is equal to open, and so we're going to open the file, templedir.html r, and let's just go and say for line in text, line is equal to line.stripIt. So I like to always do that to remove the leading and trailing space things. And then we'll do line is equal to, and then we're just going to print out line to make sure that we're reading the file and I haven't done anything stupid. It's always important to assume the person writing your code is a moron. Not just because, you know, or at least the person who wrote it, not necessarily the person writing it, but the person who wrote it 5 seconds ago. Because you're human, you're going to make mistakes. So we're printing it out. Oh, there's Joe Jupin's email. Okay, so it's not like, I mean, it's not like I'm doxing anybody. It's all the employee information on the employee website. So ethically, I feel fine about this, although it's leaning toward, although this is the gray area of okay stuff. It is okay. It's on the okay side, but it's leaning more towards the gray. Because anyway, so now we'll need to create a regex that matches phone numbers. So first off, we could do something more complex, but we know that phone numbers basically are gonna come. They come along this line of, they always do the 1 dash. They prefix it with 1, but that's okay. We're just going to look for any US formatted telephone. So let's go ahead and create a regular expression for that. Right? Phone regex is equal to re.compile. Okay? Oh, and if you're wondering where the pictures are on that, they're on the server, but it simply links to them and displays, and those get displayed on your screen. So phone regex. So let's go ahead. What is the regular expression for a phone number? Any takers? You can speak it out, or you can write it in chat. Right. What's the first thing? What's the first part of it? We've got numbers, right? So what's the short? Yep. So that's the first part of it. 3 numbers, followed by a dash, followed by another 3 numbers, followed by a dash, followed by another 4 numbers. All right. So what we're going to, so yes. Would /d/d/d also work? Yes, if you use the correct slash. Sorry to pick on you like that, but it will just give you a, so this will also work, as was asked in chat. Be careful you don't do this. It's an easy mistake to make. It's the one above your enter key. If you're on an American keyboard. So that will work, right? I'll go ahead and just use both. And what we can do here is that, so what we'll do is that we'll say phone regex dot, I think it's search. Or we can just do dash dot find all. So there's a couple ways we can do this. The first way is the way I first showed you, which is to create a match object. So match. And this will return the first thing it finds of that format each line. And that's perfectly fine. So search. And when am I searching? And where am I searching? I'm searching in line. And then I just simply say, hey, if match print line. So now what this will do is that's just simply printed all the lines where it found a phone number. What we're going to do instead is maybe we'll just print out match.group, which will print out the match. And there, that's all the phone numbers it found of that format. Notice it doesn't capture the 1 because that wasn't part of the regular expression. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do that is to do results is equal to find all the phone regular expressions. And let's just go ahead and see what's inside results. Right? It kind of skips a step there. Notice we got a lot of blanks over here. So it's always going to return something. Let's go ahead and see. So first off, let's try something. So if results, so if len results greater than 0, in other words, if there's something inside our results, and in that case, we're going to print it. Oh, yeah, scroll down. And there, we can see that basically that we've got that it's printing out. And the reason it's inside these brackets is, of course, is because results is a list. Find all will always return. So match.group will return the actual string. Find all will return a list of all the strings that matched. An empty list if nothing. Which one you prefer to use is up to you. I prefer to use find all because that's typically what I'm doing. I'm trying to find all of something. So what I'm going to do here is now, let's go ahead and just create a list called phone nums. Not phone nuns. Phone nums is equal to an empty list. And what I'll do is I'll say phone nums. So if results is greater than 1, or rather specifically if length results is greater than 1, phone nums is equal to phone nums plus results, which is how you can concatenate it. Why did I add it? Why did I add a statement asking? Because I only want to try to add it or only wanted to print it. I only wanted to print it if it had results in it. I was asking if greater 1, 0. If there are results in it, in that case, I wanted to print them. Otherwise, I didn't want to print out a bunch of empty stuff. So here, right, so print phone nums. And there's the list of all the phone numbers in that document. Let's see. So that's fairly straightforward to do. Also, you can actually, getting back to the whole truthiness and falsiness, I can just simply say if the results have a length, if it's greater than 1, So remember, anything that's not 0 is true. So that also works. And you'll see that a lot in code. Yeah. I've been trying to post them to GitHub. I believe I have. But yeah, generally I've been posting this stuff to GitHub. Okay. All right, next. What have I done? All right, next I wanted to get all the email addresses. So we need to create an email regex. So email regex is equal to re.compile. So let's take this by parts, right? So we have R. So let's see. So the first thing we know we have in an email address is the @ symbol. And then we have stuff to the left of it and stuff to the right of it. Okay. What is the stuff to the left of it? We have temple.edu after it. And we need to escape that dot.
Do you want to try again later?
Right. At temple.edu. And then let's go ahead and just take a look at our test file.
That's good.
Ooh, that's useful. So it has a so every single email address. I noted this when I first downloaded it, but I'd forgotten by now. I was like, what was it that I had noticed? Every single one of these has a mail to in front of it, which is useful. So what I can do is I can say, so let's see. So an email address would probably be along the lines of /w plus, and then, so they're always at the name of, like, so /w is alphanumeric, so it's numbers, letters, and an underscore. So email addresses also have possibly dots in them. So we have this word followed by a dot, but it could, if I was doing my full, so this would work if for things like andrew.rosen at temple.edu. So, sorry, this would work for andrew.rosen at temple.edu, right? So let's see what this grabs, by the way. So we're going to just test this out and see what we got. Somebody just asked why their grade on exam 2 is a 0. It's because it hasn't been graded yet. There's about 30 students who didn't get graded, about half in one section, half in another. Don't know why. I'm going to go and grade them after class. So anyway, going back to that, we've got results, find all, email, regex, find all line, and then emails is equal to blank, and now emails. So basically I'm just reusing the same variable there, but that's okay. Okay, and that gets a lot of people, right? And does anybody, in fact, what it does, it gets everybody who uses the pattern first name dot last name at temple.edu. However, what if that's not what you're using? What if the professor just simply goes last name? Like this. Let's see. Like CIS at temple.edu. What if the email address is like this? Like, I know some like here, Professor Lee, I know doesn't do first name dot last name. They have xlee as their email address. So how do you capture that email address? So that what we could do is that we can say, wait a second, this first part is optional. And now this will actually get us into an issue. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Well, if you use... So the issue is when you use find all with groups. If you're trying to use find alls with groups, you're going to have a bit of an issue. Right? This created a group over here. So let's see if surrounding this with parentheses might do something. Whoops. That gives us the fact that it's a bad regex to do it like that. Oh, wait, nope. Because there was a star there. Not sure how that happened. Unbalanced parentheses. So, there, okay, I see what I did there. Could I use the or? I could. So here we've got group 1 and then group 2. So we've got group 1 and group 2, group 1 and group 2. So we see that Dr. Hughes uses the first name dot last name, whereas Professor Cindy Lee uses X Lee. So when could you use when it's an or? You can use the bar when it's an or. So let's see. So let's check our book again on how to use this with, how to use the find all with, this. So when we get this, we get a group like this. Find all returns all the matching strings. Yeah, so when there's no groups, it's great. But find all actually gives us an issue when there are groups like this. So how do we get around that? Well, we account for the fact that there's going to be a group. We just simply say, okay, if this is going to be in a group by itself, yes, we could do a character class with alphanumeric and dot. Yeah, that would be a good solution. So one suggestion is just do this. A through Z, A to Z, and dot. Any combination of these characters in front of temple.edu. And 1 through 9. Yeah, that's a much more elegant solution than what I was trying to do. Good on that. The other solution to get around that, though, we were committed to this, was, okay, if this is part of a group, we can make this part of a group. And what we can say is that, hey, if we got results, then we can say results is equal to results 0. We only get 1 per line. Or we can say, let's actually, yeah. We can assume we're just getting 1 per line right now, and this should give us an error now if I try to do this, right? Can't connect, so it gives me a string back. So this extracts that string out of there. What am I seeing? What does that do? Oh, I'm working in the wrong part. Silly me. Working in the wrong part like that. So this gives me this back. And what I can do is that I can just combine those. Actually, it just grabs. So I got a tuple back, not a string. That makes more sense. And I can combine both parts of those. Results is equal to... This is insanely hacky, and so this is why I said the other one was the other solution that Akshay proposed was much better. Just concatenate them both together. Emails plus result. Dot append results.
Oh no. It's good.
None type object has no attributes. Oh, right. And there.
Don't take him.
Although we're still missing Cindy, so yeah, that actually... forget that was all nonsense. I thought I was doing something correct, but I was not. No, the solution that Akshay proposed was the simplest solution, which is what we can do here is we can, rather than trying to mess with groups, we can create our own character class. The other solution is to use the match object. Why was there an error with append? There was an error with append because I tried doing emails equals emails.append, which emails.append returns none, so it restored none in emails. And then when I called it again, it attempted to call .append on none, giving me a none type error like that. So the solution was, hey, wait, since you can intermittently throw numbers and dots and all that jazz in there, A to Z and a dot. Unterminated character set at, unbalanced parentheses. Right. What's a person laser? All right, so now we have a list of email addresses and a list of phone numbers. Any other questions about this one? Most of your regular expressions will be along the lines of trying to find like a phone number or a digit or something along that line, or to terminate something. Your homework is extremely good practice for that. Are there other questions? Why is it showing each email twice? Excellent question. Why is it showing each email twice? Emails is equal to emails plus results? That is an excellent question. I didn't even notice. Because it's finding it twice each line. How much regex will be on the final? Not sure yet. It's going to be pretty much exclusively what's in this, plus the file reading portion is going to be on regex plus file reading is what's going to be on exam 3. And by the way, this is pretty much it to regular expressions. Let's see. So let's go through and check some conceptual questions down here. So let's see. Anything good over here? Nope, some of these are what I've done in the oh yeah. So by the way, now you can use regular expressions to do something that finds correct dates as well. It's probably a good practice problem right there. How's the HTML file laid out? That's a good question. So let's go ahead and grab the email. Oh yeah, it's in twice every line. So if we want to get it once every line, we can just simply grab it with, ooh, that's a great idea. We can just simply grab it and actually use groups to our advantage here. We can do is that we can do the mail to colon and then surround that with parentheses, and let's see what happens. Yep. So we can simply get nullified to 1. Somebody asked, how's the HTML file laid out? Are the emails written twice per line? And that's exactly why we were getting 2 emails per line. Or 2 double repeated emails. So here I'm just looking for the fact that it starts with mail to. I put it in, I surrounded it in its own group, and that was that. So, yeah. Can I explain look ahead, look behind in Regex? You do not need to know how to use it. Looking ahead and looking behind is memory. And at that point, you're no longer dealing with pure regular expressions, I think. So, look ahead, Regex. So, I don't really use these because at that point I have to use, or basically it says negative look ahead provides the solution Q, not followed by AU. Negative look ahead is a construct of a pair of parentheses, question mark, and exclamation point. Inside it, we have a look ahead for U. So that looks specifically for stuff ahead and afterwards, but I don't really use them too much, and I shouldn't really be giving you anything that you really need to use that. The reason is because I don't really use it is because of I never really learned too much about it, and also the same thing is that there's if we look at the textbook that I've been dealing with, it doesn't really deal with look ahead stuff, mainly because first off, I'm not looking on the right page. Read pattern matching. Yeah, so there's no look ahead there. So it doesn't really deal with look ahead because I'm not sure if every language supports look ahead and look behind, but I'm not sure. It might. But like one of the big things about regular expressions is memory. So like regex to match parentheses. So yeah, regular expression for matching. So here basically it's trying to say, hey, they're trying to say, can you match open and parentheses, opening and closing parentheses, which is fine, but nobody's pointing out that basically that here's the one, match nested parentheses. Can regular expressions be used to match balanced nested parentheses? Question's already been answered. 18 answers. No. Because it does not have a memory other than the state it's in. And it gets into this context-free grammars. And then this person says that you can use this, but What's more about the explanation then? It's very easy. This regex is gibberish. But, yeah, it's no longer a regular expression at that point, is the point. It's using regex syntax. When we are making character new classes, why can't we use no? Oh, that's an excellent question. At that point, you're dealing with context-free grammars. But this one, when we are making new character classes, why can't we use the notation for existing ones? So why can't I just simply say, if I'm for here, why can't I do /w period? And it has to do with the way the computer's going to interpret it, which is, it's going to say, oh, you're opening up a character class. So I'm going to interpret every single character I see literally. So I want to look for slashes or W's or dots. So that's why, because when you're inside this the character class, it's trying to do everything. What's the word? Literally.
Laser. Do you see any grape juice up here?
Okay. Are there any other questions? Because after this, really, I think we've hit the end of our material for the most part. I think we'll do I'll talk about GitHub on Thursday and how to use version control, which is if you're in a programming class, you should learn about version control because it's an awesome tool. It is the ultimate protection against my dog ate my homework or my hard drive failed and I just lost everything. I never, there are horror stories I've heard about people who basically lost their thesis and hadn't backed it up. And I mean, like, for me, that was never an issue because I was always backing it up to GitHub. And not only that, because it's on GitHub and I've been using a version control system, you can literally go through my thesis and see how it changed from when I created it to how it ended. And you can see every single change I made as I made it. So that's really good. So for that, I think I'm good for the lecture today. Any questions? If you've got, will we have extra time during the final? Probably. I'll probably budget some extra time during the final. But not everybody can take advantage of it because of the way it's arranged. Again, yeah, you can talk to me about exam 2 if you have questions about it. You can talk to me or you can talk to your TA who was supposed to grade it. Me or the TA, it's fine. All right.
Hi, Professor. I had a quick question.
Sure.
For exam 2, for the usernames question, I didn't get any credit on that question just because I didn't format it correctly. And I think that's unfair. It was 20 points and I got 0 out of 20 just because I didn't format it correctly. I'm pretty sure the code and the logic was right.
Let me see. I'm trying to remember if I graded yours specifically or not. Because I thought for the person I marked a 0 on somebody whose was unformatted, and I thought I left a comment that said, fix the formatting and I'll give you the points back.
Mine just says, let me see what mine says. Mine says, please format for credit.
You agree? Yeah, that's what I said. So format it for credit.
So should I send you a Python file or something?
Yeah, send me a Python file or an email with it correctly formatted.
Okay.
And then I'll give you your points back because I was literally going through it and I'm like, I don't have time to, I don't want to go through and untangle this one line answer. So that was my logic. I didn't want to go through and just untangle the one line answer. So I sent the message to you to do it. Where's the link to GitHub? It is in page. It's under the pages section in Canvas.
Okay, and you have office hours today from 4 to 5, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, thanks. I'll send you that for credit then. Thank you.
Okay. So, link to GitHub. I'll post it in chat, but you can also find it on. You can find it pretty easily on our Canvas page. So, github.com/abrosen /class. Yep. One of your questions was not graded, but my exam grade is posted. If it's question 8, don't worry about it because that's 0 points. If otherwise, what question is it? Can we meet you before 4 to discuss exam 2? Oh. I don't know why I sent that privately. There. No. I said everyone. When is exam 3? Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the 23rd. Okay. Before 4 to discuss exam 2. Maybe. If Canvas, but you sent the file. Yeah, if you sent the file is there just simply to give me backup. It depends on the question. No, you don't have to submit anything from class today. I didn't end up doing anything for class today. One of the... Yeah, no class assignment. My exam grade changed from what it was last night. I have no idea. I'll have to take Jason, I'll have to take a look at your exam specifically. Let's see. So, okay. Any other questions? Ahmad, yes, I will. Do you need it? I mean, are you not able to meet me after 4? I can meet you at 3:30. I just need a 10-minute break once we stop class. Gotcha. All right. So, let's see. Yep. So log on to this link at 3:30. Ahmad. Otherwise, I think I'm done for the day. So, all right. I'll take a look at it. Come to office hours and I'll take a look at it if you've got an issue with your exam. Then send me an email to figure out when to meet with me specifically. Or come meet with me at like 3:30 as well. So just send me an email to meet privately at some other time if you can't make it. Okay, but for right now, I think, let's see, stop recording.